Welcome back to the channel. Good morning, afternoon, evening, or good night. It is another motivational video of building a house in Ghana. And if it's your first time here, my name is Gigo, and we are still at the Hill project. And we are still at the block laying stage of this property. At the moment, we are at the right hand side where the guys have started with the block setting layout of the right apartment, as you can see. And this part, of the laying blocks takes a lot of time because this is where you have to get your angles right. You have to make sure that what the client wants is what you are putting on the ground. So you always have to check, cross check, and double check at this point. So the guys are taking their time and putting things in place. So as you can see, the work is moving slowly, but we are making much progress. Actually, it's a bigger project. That's why, the blocks are a lot. So you can imagine if it is just half of it that we're doing by now, I think we'll be done with the decking. So, but then, yeah, I just want to motivate, someone, who is also contemplating of like building in Ghana or not. Should I buy? Should I build? To me, it doesn't really matter as far as what you are buying is what you really like. If you want to build, the advantage is that you have the chance to do whatever you want. As far as you put safety into consideration, you can just design anything you want. And with Google Production Group, we always advise and we see how best we can, bring that dream into life. So as you can see, the cameraman is just taking us through to see the dimensions of the house, of the apartment, the various rooms. The last time there was this one client, one subscriber who was educating us about the curves, in this apartment, which will consume a lot of space. He's right, he's true, but sometimes that is a design of the person. That's what the person wants. So some of these things, there's nothing we can do as builders. There's nothing we can do. That's what the person wants, and so we just have to advise, and then we just leave it. The choice is for the owner to decide what he or she wants to do with his project. So as it stands now, we have to progress with it, and with Gigo Production Group, as you all know, we take our time to do our work. Very nice, very neat job done. You can see the teamwork is also very solid. When it comes to teamwork, it's very solid. As I always say, we work hand in hand. So you see the plumber on site, you see the steel bender also on site whilst the block is going on, so that they can communicate. If there's fault somewhere, it's easy to put it in place, make all those correction. Sometimes when you don't have those teamwork, when the let's say when the mason is laying the blocks and he sees a mistake, he has to call the plumber or call the stillman, meaning they have to stop work for the day and you still have to pay them. So that's one way we also try to cut cost. So we make sure that we have the steel bender on site, whilst he is doing his stuff, the masons are also there, so that we work, hand in hand and make sure that the owner doesn't, spend so much money when it comes to labor, and also make sure that the work is done right, you know. So as you can see, you can most of my videos you can see the work for yourself. Sometimes I even don't even know what to say anymore, like, because the work speaks for itself. The strategy that we are using is all in the videos. As you see, we work from the left all the way to the right. We take the wind into consideration. We know where the wind is blowing, so that you don't have damage of blocks on site. So I think this was the next day. You've seen how far they've laid. A day they have to lay 4 blocks high. So that's the rules. Else, if you go more, you might get a crooked because of the weight that you pile on each block. It has to be 4 high a day. So that's how they work. They started from the back. They lay 4 each day. They lay 4 coming to the front. So that's how far they are. I think by the end of the video we'll see the height. And as I said earlier on, it is a motivational video. So I just want to motivate someone who wants to build, in Ghana. Thinking about the price, how much it's going to cost me to build, all depends on you. It depends on what you want. But to me, with my experience, I would say you can always start small and then grow big. Because let's say you have a one plot of land, it's possible to build 6 bedrooms, 5 bedrooms, 4 bedrooms, or even bedrooms, a big size one time, which will cost you a lot of money and a longer period. And if you are not ready to move to Ghana now, then I don't know why you should build a big house and just leave it there and come back to the West, which we see a lot of people are doing. A lot of Ghanaians or Africans, they hustle so much, put everything in there, build a bigger house, finish it, and they are still living in the West. They go home 2 weeks, 3 weeks, maximum. So I was thinking, yeah, why not divide the plot into two? Build these houses that the developers are doing in Ghana. Every estate in Ghana is not building on a full plot. They are all building on a half plot, and we all like the style, was the design that they are doing on the plot. So why not build one of those houses? Just divide your plot into two. Build simple, easy way. And then yeah, you can rent it out when you go to Ghana. You can just stay in there for some time and just be renting it out. When you have money, you build the next one. You have 2 houses on one plot. And I think in the next 20 years, maybe you decide to go back, or the next 10 years or 5 years, when you decide to go back, at least you have 2 houses to entertain your friends or guests. And you also have, a place where you can stay. And when you're in Ghana, you can design to build your big mansion. By then you have income coming, and with your pension money, or maybe with the money you save whilst you're in the West, the small rentals can pay their labor work. So yeah, so to me, this is what I always say. If I would do new, that's what I'm going to do. I had a full plot, which I started building a big house, but then later on I realized I am not planning to go to Ghana soon. So why should I build a big house? And also, don't forget that when you build a big house, it's very difficult to sell it, and it's difficult to put it on to rent it out, because nobody can pay that huge amount of money to stay in that kind of big house. So there is something I always preach here. You can build a nice design house on a half plot. If you check my Pram project, it is not even sitting on a half plot. It's like a quarter plot. So it's possible to do it. If you need a design, just get in touch with me, send me email. I can design something nice for you. We have architects who who can go through it and do the correction if needed. If you like it, you just buy it from them. You need a team to build it for you, we will always do that. And we always go to your site to survey the place before we start with the drawing. So this brings us to the end of today's episode. Thanks for staying with me till this far. I really do appreciate your time spent on the channel, and I'll see you in my next episode, which I believe we will be done with the block work. Look, do we?